All right, let's get right into it. As your lead documentary researcher and philosopher for this explainer, I am incredibly excited to guide you through a truly sophisticated synthesis today. We're diving deep into the ancient Tamil philosophy of the Thirukkural, and we're looking at it alongside the profound concept of the Panchakosha. What we're really unpacking here is the ultimate Triad Nexus: mind, body, and soul. Now, you know that feeling when you're doing absolutely everything right? Eating clean, hitting the gym every day, but you still feel, well, just fundamentally out of balance. Well, the ancient texts we're analyzing today hold the exact blueprint for why that happens.
So here's our documentary blueprint for today. We'll be covering the physiology of ethics, cognitive governance, the transcendent soul, the triad integration, and finally, a modern synthesis.
Part 1. The physiology of ethics. The body as the vessel for virtue.
Okay, so in the Thirukkural, there's this core concept called aram. Basically, it represents virtue and your ethical duty. But here's the crucial takeaway. Without physical health, actually performing that ethical duty is, well, practically impossible. Think about it. The body is an instrument. If your instrument is broken, you simply cannot play the music of virtue. It's actually a super pragmatic way of looking at ethics, right? I mean, you can't exactly save the world if you literally can't even get out of bed because your physical vessel is failing you.
And this comparison brilliantly illustrates the nuance of that physical vessel by looking at the first two layers of the Panchakosha. Over on the left, we've got the Annamaya Kosha. This is your tangible flesh and bone, built literally by the physical food you consume. But right next to it, that's the Pranamaya Kosha. Think of this as the unseen energy envelope, your aura, your vital breath, just outside the physical form. So if your physical body is the hardware, the Pranamaya Kosha is the electricity running it. You absolutely need both of them functioning perfectly to maintain a vessel that's actually capable of virtue.
Moving right along to Part 2, Cognitive Governance. The mind as the driver of action.
Now, Valuvar points out the severe, and I mean severe, physiological impact of our emotions. In Crawl 306, he flat out states that anger is a fire that destroys those who draw near it. And, this isn't just some nice poetic metaphor. Surprisingly, modern science completely backs this up. We know now that anger spikes inflammation and shoots up cardiovascular risk. In the context of the Panchakosha, this is the Manomaya Kosha, the emotional mind. When this layer loses control, it literally burns down the physical vessel we just established.
So that begs the question, how do we actually control those destructive emotions? Well, it's all about the intellect. The ancient texts call this Ariju, or the Vijnanamaya Kosha. It acts as this highly sophisticated architectural filter sitting just above the emotional mind. Imagine you're physically exhausted, you've had a long day, and you just want to snap at someone. It is this exact intellect that converts your raw willpower into disciplined restraint. As Kural 427 notes, true wisdom is the ability to filter out all that negative noise and ensure your emotions don't completely derail your physical vessel.
All right, let's step up to Part 3, the transcendent soul, defining true knowledge. And here we arrive at Mayunavurvu. This is it, the attainment of absolute true knowledge, the ultimate philosophical destination. In the layers of existence, we're talking about the Anandamaya Kosha, which is where the soul achieves absolute bliss and clarity. You see, when your body is healthy, your energy is flowing, your emotions are totally calm, and your intellect is razor sharp, the natural, effortless byproduct is this incredible state of pure, unadulterated knowledge.
But I absolutely love how this specific verse anchors that ethereal soul right back down to the physical form. Valuvar tells us that ethical charity and love are the absolute sustenance of the soul. Seriously, without love, all that physical health and intellectual rigor we just talked about is completely meaningless. You're just, as he puts it, bones clad in skin. Love is literally the ultimate glue that binds the transcendent soul to your physical body.
Part 4. The Triad Integration. The coral in ancient structures.
Now, as documentary researchers, mapping these ancient concepts against real historical practices reveals a very deliberate integration. The concept of the Annamaya Kosha wasn't just some abstract philosophical theory. It dictated actual ancient medical regimens and dietary laws. Their mental control practices shaped their cultural rituals, and that intellectual rigor formed the very basis of their philosophical education systems. In everyday ancient life, physical wellness and spiritual practice were completely inseparable.
However, to be totally intellectually honest here, we know they had highly advanced medical systems, and we know they studied Valuvar's philosophical texts. But what was the exact bridging mechanism? Was there some specific ancient hospital out there that utilized Valuvar's exact ritual step by step? Well, Lacking direct archaeological evidence linking the two so directly, this remains a mystery. We cannot speculate here. We can only observe the incredible thematic overlap between the two.
Finally, let's bring it into today with Part 5, Modern Synthesis, applying ancient tenets to contemporary wellness.
Our sources highlight a huge modern dilemma. Think about it. So many people today eat strictly organic food, they do their daily yoga, but they still feel miserable. Why is that? Actually, it's because they're only treating one or two layers. This ancient Panchakosha alignment gives us a highly actionable step-by-step paradigm. You cannot skip steps. If your diet is flawless, but your emotional mind is in absolute chaos, the whole system fails. You have to systematically resolve the voids across all 5 layers, in this exact order, to achieve true, holistic self-mastery.
So, as you reflect on this incredible ancient wisdom from the Thirukkural and the Panchakosha, I really want to leave you with this thought to mull over. Take a look at your own life. Which specific layer of your existence, your body, your energy, your emotions, your intellect, or your soul requires immediate alignment today to achieve your ultimate state of true knowledge? Let the alignment begin.